Now, this is not something that's easy to talk about, and we don't often think of it, but we need to. Planning ahead can help your loved ones know what to do given the worst. Now, today, Shanna Sullivan's here from Sullivan Financial Strategies with simple steps to start this conversation when it comes to estate planning. This is unbelievably important, isn't it?
It's very important, and a lot of people don't like it to talk about it, like you said, but it's so extremely important.
Okay, now who's it important for? The whole family? For just the wealthy? You know, when I think estate planning, I'm thinking of somebody that's rich.
Right. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Everybody needs an estate plan because an estate plan is not just about passing on your wealth. It's about putting forms in place and letting people know what your wishes are if you become incapacitated or when you die.
And I'm sure a lot of people that are watching right now have maybe dealt with this on a parent level and have dealt with the estate and the rest of the family. So let's get started because I want to get through all of this. What's the first thing we need to do?
The first thing that you need to do is create a will. And the important thing, everybody knows what a will is, right? But a lot of people don't know that there's one certain important thing in a will, and that's the designation of a guardian for your children. If you have minor children and something happens to you and your spouse, then your will is recorded who you want those children to be taken care of by. If you don't determine that, the judge will determine that for you.
And you don't want somebody else to, they don't know your kids. That's
Right.
interesting. Okay, so the will is important. What about, let's talk about finances.
Yeah, one thing that you need to do is name primary and contingent also beneficiaries on any of your annuities, your life insurance policies, your 401ks, your brokerage accounts, anything like that.
Okay.
Now, the life insurance policies you don't want to name your children as a beneficiary of, and that's a lot of mistake that people make.
Why?
Because the children will automatically inherit that money. Automatically. If you have a 9-year-old, what are they going to do with $50,000, $200,000?
Right.
So you want to make sure that you name your guardian as, or the contingent or beneficiary as the guardian of your children for your life insurance policies.
Okay, this is good. Now, if you talk to them at Sullivan, you're gonna put this out in layman's terms.
Yes,
right?
we work through all this. Yes.
Good, because right now I'm already starting to be like, I don't want to talk about it. But this is really good. What about other assets?
Okay, so your car and that kind of thing. A lot of times people don't even realize their four-wheelers have titles also.
Sure.
So they need to be titled correctly so it doesn't go to probate. And probate is if you die and you do not have your assets labeled out accordingly, then the judge is going to determine who gets those assets.
And you want to have control over this.
Yes, and you want to name it Jane or John Doe, so it goes to either one and that kind of thing. Your home, everything needs to be titled correctly.
Okay, what is the living will? That's something that I would have, right? Because I'm alive. Wait, is that right?
A living will, basically, if you're incapacitated and you cannot make medical decisions for yourself, then the living will tells the doctors what they need to do. So basically, it's the very important life support. That's the one that people always think of. If you're unable to make those decisions, then that living will already has what you want done.
Wow. Okay. Now, what about power of attorney? That's something that I don't really know much about.
Right,
but given the power of attorney to the right person.
Right. So these forms are for if you're incapacitated and you cannot make decisions for yourself. So a financial power of attorney gives that person the ability to handle all of your finances immediately.
Oh, wow.
A judge does not need to be involved if it's a durable power of attorney. Okay. And a medical power of attorney, as long as it's durable, then that means it's in effect right now. So you need to choose someone that you trust. And then that way your financial and your medical decisions can be made for you by someone that you trust if you're unable to make them by yourself. Okay,
and I hate that we're running out of time, but there's one final thing we have to talk about, the password thing. Tell me about the password.
Okay, so important thing to do for your family is to leave passwords for them because everyone has hundreds of passwords now. So LastPass or KeyPass, you only have to have one password. And you load all of those passwords in the cloud, and you only have to have one password to log in, and then bam, you've got all your passwords right there at hand.
That would be incredible just for me, let alone anybody else that I'm leaving this to. I know it's a tough conversation, estate planning, but I'm already learning stuff right now. You can learn a lot more of it and take the emotion out of it. This is what we got to get it on paper. Sullivan Financial Strategies will help you. They're located in Broken Arrow. Give her a call, 918-872-9966. And be sure to ask about the free initial consultation. You can visit the website on the screen right there, sullivanfinancialstrategies.com. Thanks, Shanna.